This is the classic problem of fruits into baskets. You're walking along a row of fruit trees and you only have 2 baskets, but you're only allowed to carry 2 types of fruits at most. The challenge is to find the longest continuous stretch that we can pick from. It turns out that this is the best example of the sliding window pattern. In this video, we're going to see how the sliding window pattern is applied to this problem. Now let's take a look at the actual question. So fruit into baskets. You're visiting a farm that has a single row of fruit trees arranged from left to right. So the single row of fruit trees, left to right, these are important. The trees are represented by an integer array of fruits. So the array is fruits, where fruit I is the type of fruit the ith tree produces. You want to collect as much fruit as possible. However, the owner has some strict rules. The first rule is you only have 2 baskets. That's the first condition. And each basket can only hold a single type of fruit. Okay, there's no limit on the amount of fruit each basket can hold. So that's our first rule. The second rule is starting from any tree of our choice, you must pick exactly 1 fruit from every tree, including the start tree, while moving to the right. The picked fruits must fit in one of your baskets. So that's our second one. The third condition is once you reach a tree with fruit that cannot fit in your basket, you must stop. Okay, so let's take a look at an examples to make it clearer. So the first example is the fruit array is 1, 2, 1. So we only have 2 types of trees here. So 1 represents 1 and 2 represents the second type. So this entire array is valid because we only have 2 types of trees and that satisfies the condition. So this entire stretch actually is the answer, which is 3. We can pick from all 3. The second example is fruit. We have 3 types of trees. So 0, 1, 2. These are 3. So it's invalid. We have to choose from 2. So in order to do that, we are choosing the answer is 3 because it's 1, 2, 2. So we only choose 2 types. And then this entire stretch satisfies our condition. That's why it's 3. There are 3 numbers here. The last example is fruits array. We have 1, 2, 3. So we only can choose from 2 and then the longest stretch possible. So 1, 2, 3 breaks it, so we have to move. And then our example output is 4 because our stretch is 2, 3, 2, 2 because we only have 2 types of fruits here. And then this is the longest stretch that's possible in this array. So that's the entire idea. So how are we going to use the sliding window pattern to solve this problem? Let's get to it. Now let's quickly visualize how this is going to work for our code. So we're going to first initialize our left and then right pointers on the left side of the array. And then we're going to expand our window using our right pointer. And then we're going to expand it to include more fruits on the right side. So this window is valid because we only have 2 types of fruits. So now it's okay. We're going to expand the right side one more time. We're going to expand it and it's still valid because within the window, we have 2 types of fruits only. It's apple and banana. And then now we're going to expand it even more. When we expand it, it's going to become invalid because now we have 3 types of fruits inside this window. And then that's the reason why we're going to break this and then we're going to move our left pointer to the right one to see if the condition stays. And we're going to move it. It's still 3, it's not 2, so it's still invalid. We're going to move the left pointer by 1. We're going to move it, and then now it's valid because there's only 2 types. And then now we're going to move to the right, expand the right part. We're going to expand it. It's still 2, it's valid. We're going to expand the right one by 1. And then now it's 3 types, it's invalid. And we're going to move the left pointer because it's invalid. And then now it's valid again. And we're going to expand the right one by 1. And it's still valid because we only have 2 types, but this is the longest stretch so far. So that's how the entire logic works for this using the sliding window technique. Now let's take a look at how the code is actually written. Let's start from the definition of the function total fruit, and we're given the fruits array as a list. And at the end, we're going to report the longest stretch as an integer. Let's first initialize the count variable. This is going to keep track of the count of the type of fruits that we have in that window. and we're going to initialize it to default dictionary. Default dictionary can be imported from the collections module. We use default dictionary because we can count items inside the dictionary without really needing the existence of its keys. So it saves us code to write. So this is an easier way to count items using a dictionary. Okay, so we initialized count, and then we're going to initialize our left pointer, which is pointing to the left side of the window, which starts from 0. And then we're going to initialize the best. This is what we're going to report at the end. And then we're going to use the right pointer and its value to enumerate or loop across our entire fruits array. And then this is what's going to expand our window. As we expand it, we're going to count the newly added item to this count. So count is incremented by 1, we increase it, and then we're going to check if our condition is met or not. We use that using the while loop. We're going to check if the count is more than 2. If there are more than 2 types of fruits, we have to shrink our left side. If it's more than 2, we're going to look at the left side first, which is fruits left, and then we're going to reduce the type of fruits inside the window. We're going to count left at -1. And then if a specific item reaches 0 count, like this, we're going to delete that specific item. For example, an apple could be 0, or a pear could be 0. So that we need to remove that item entirely. Otherwise, this is not going to work. And then we're going to move our left pointer by 1 to shrink the entire window size. So left plus 1 is going to shrink it. And then at the end, after shrinking the window, we have a new window now, so we have to take a look at the best. We're going to update our best. Best is 0 before, and then we're going to use the max function and then compare best and then our current stretch to see which one is the better. And then our current one is right minus left plus 1. And we're going to compare them and then update the best. And at the end, we're going to return the best stretch as an integer. So that's the entire logic of our solution. And then the most important thing here is to know is we're going to update the count here. And then after updating the count, we're going to see if the conditions are met or not. And within it, you have to make sure that if something, a count of some fruit is 0, you have to delete that entirely from the dictionary. And then you're going to shrink the left side. And then we're going to update the entire thing with the max function like this. So now let's check if this actually works in LeetCode or not. Our solution has been accepted and run successfully. So this is how we use the sliding pattern to solve the fruits in baskets problem. Hopefully you learned a lot in this video. And in our next video, we're going to use the sliding window pattern to solve more problems. So stay tuned. If you like this content, please subscribe and check out other similar videos.